to David's Closet. If you're new here, we like to talk about handbags, accessories, and all those fun things from the male point of view and on a budget. I often forget to say that, but obviously we're on a budget here, guys. So if you're new, please subscribe to my channel if that's interesting to you. Comment on the videos, like them, watch my other videos, click on all my friends' videos. I'll probably reference some people during this video. You'll see their channels linked below if I do. So as always, browse, peruse, subscribe to myself and all of them, and enjoy. So, a few things. Last week I didn't have a video. It was kind of unplanned. Life just kind of got in the way and I didn't have time to film anything. There may be a couple of weeks coming up where that might be the deal. I'm going to try to do some filming just to kind of have some filler videos ready to go. I used to film, if you guys remember, back in the OG days when I did every other week posting. Even when I went to every week, I was a month or two ahead on filming. So if I was asked to be in a collaboration or an event happened or a collection came out, I had to rearrange all my videos or just wait. So I don't like to be far ahead, but I want to have some good content filmed and ready to go for those weeks where I just don't have time to make a video. So one of these days I'm going to film a couple of filler videos to have available, so hopefully you guys won't have to go a week without seeing this mug. Ugh, my allergies are going nuts. Well, it's been beautiful here in the Midwest the past couple of days. You know, 70s, 80s, and today it's back up to 100, so it's hot in here right now. It's about 7 o'clock at night, so it's the heat of the day. The sun is right here on this wall, beating in. It's awful. I hate it, but we're all here. You're also going to notice a few changes. Obviously, the display. And this peacock lamp I got as a gift from my mother-in-law, and I love it, but it just doesn't match the aesthetic of the rest of my house, so I needed to find a new place for it. So I put it up here, and the lamp that was here had to go in the trash because it had a short in the wire. So I call it Lamp Gate. I love lamps. I've been replacing lamps in my house and moving them throughout. So right now that one's going here. I actually like it in my videos. I think it's cute. So it might say, there's also a Halloween decoration of a black cat in front of it. But I love the lamp for now, so it's definitely going to stay. It's just a little bit more of a classy, fun vibe for my videos. So now that we've got that all the way, also going to do bag of the week. I have bags all over the floor right now. I haven't carried this one in a minute. And this is my Prada satchel. I forget the name of it, but it's in the navy blue color. I did buy an organizer for this one. You guys will recall my black one that was a little bit more worn and slouchy. I put an organizer in it. Did the same for this, and I love it. These bags are amazing. The only downfall I have is the handles are the rolled handles with glazing, but they're pretty floppy, so the glazing does tend to crack on these. I don't notice big issues with it falling off or chipping, but there definitely are some cracks and creases in that glazing. But overall, I love, love, love these bags. So today's video, what you guys are here for. I've wanted to do a video like this for a while, and just a couple weeks ago, Toast Jean did an luxury outlet video, and he kind of talked about outlets and his opinion on them, and it really sparked me to kind of think about outlets, what outlets mean to me, and by outlets I obviously mean outlets, factory stores, all of those things. Also kind of want to educate some people on them because, I mean, I've fallen victim to them before. I know Gene in his video said he's fallen victim of, you know, the deceit before of an outlet. And also just my opinion on them, all of the fun things. So I hope this will be interesting. I'm also going to end up doing a contemporary bag collection video. I'm looking around to make sure I didn't miss any. Because I actually have a good collection of Coach bags primarily. And most of mine actually now are from the boutique. It used to be reversed back in the day, but let's start there. Coach outlet is what I'm going to probably reference the most because it's my favorite of the contemporary brands, Coach and Coach Outlet. Kate Spade, and obviously the Kate Spade outlets are great. But Coach is my main squeeze when it comes to non-super luxury brands, like the ones behind me. So I remember going to large cities. Back in the day, we didn't have an outlet when I was growing up. It wasn't until I was in high school we got an outlet here where I live, or close to where I lived at the time. I remember going to cities and going to the outlets, and my mom and my sister going ham every year. My sister was in competitive dance, so every year we went places and they would go ham at the Coach outlet and each buy several purses. And, you know, of course, at the time you think, oh, it's so much money, you know, a couple $100 a purse. And now I'm like, geez, I wish it was that much, right? But I remember always them saying, oh, we got a great deal. This bag originally was, you know, $500 and I got it for $200. That's a bargain. I had to buy it. And when I started getting into things like this, I even fell for that. Several of my first bags, as you guys will recall, and I don't have it out here in front of me, but I have my Coach Messenger bag. It's the brown with the guitar strap or the seatbelt strap. That actually did come from an outlet. But this was my first, like, what I would consider like a everyday size bag. I had a briefcase and a couple other things that I'd purchased from the outlet as well. But this was the first bag I ever purchased that was more of like a daily driver kind of bag. And I think I paid probably $99 for this, just under $100. And of course, I don't know if I have the tag, but I'm sure the original MSRP on the tag said something like, you know, $269. But anyway, I used to think I was getting good deals. And when I started carrying handbags, I started primarily with super luxury because I felt that it was, as a man carrying a bag, you know, oh, if it's a Louis Vuitton, it's not as big of a deal. It doesn't look as strange. That was my mindset, I know. So when I started dabbling in handbags, I purchased a few Coach outlet bags. You've seen a few on my channel. My Coach outlet bags traditionally are the ones that cycle through the fastest. I buy them, I use them maybe once or twice or none, and then I end up selling them. So I don't have a lot here to show you. In my personal collection, I only have 2 Coach outlet bags and 1 Michael Kors outlet bag that I'll show you. But the outlets are not what people think they are. Everyone assumes, and the assumption is, and it's a very deceitful practice sometimes, is when you go to a Coach outlet, these are Coach boutique bags that are discontinued, no longer in style, or overstocked from their boutiques. And they put them in the outlets and they've marked them down. That is absolutely false. Bags and outlets are made for outlets. And back in the day, there used to be identifiers on the bags that would tell you, I believe the serial code would start with an F if it was a made for outlet bag for a factory. And all brands are the same. So this is all of the brands. And this includes some of the luxury houses that have outlets, like Prada, YSL, Gucci. I think Christian Louboutin has an outlet. All of these stores have them. So this qualifies from Coach all the way up to Prada outlet. The same. These items are made for outlet. They are made with less expensive materials, less expensive building practices. So the construction of them may be a little bit cheaper, maybe a little bit less time consuming, less manual labor to make them more cost effective to make. You know, the hardware is going to be different, as I said, all of the materials. Also the shopping experience. When you go to a Coach boutique, you get a box, and I have the black boxes right here that you can see, are Coach boxes. You know, they wrap it for you. You know, you come out with a nice Coach black bag with a fabric handle. Whereas you go to the outlet, you have a rack full of bags, you pull one, you take it to the register, they put that same bag in a brown bag and hand it to you. So the whole experience is just different, from the storefront to the packaging to the construction to the materials and all of those things. And that makes the cost difference. So for example, 2 bags that I'm going to reference right now are my Coach Rowan Satchel, which is the Pride edition. And I love it for that. And this is a Coach outlet, and this is the previous generation. They've changed the Rowan a little bit. And then you have the Coach Ruby, which is their boutique. And for all practical purposes, this is a boutique bag, and this is the outlet version of this boutique bag. I believe I have videos comparing these two, but you know, they're virtually the same, but the materials are totally different. And yes, I'm going to say this one specifically is canvas. I have had the leather version of these as well. And it's a very cheap synthetic feeling leather, very heavy finish. The straps feel good. It doesn't feel cheap at all. But the material of the bag, the leather version, honestly feels like coated canvas. It's not a luxurious, supple leather. And you'll notice the zipper here, it's very thin. It is metal, but it's thin, it's light. The zipper pulls are light. The same with the main zipper. Whereas if you go here to the retail version, metal, brass finished, zipper, it's a lot thicker, it's heavier. The hardware just feels more substantial. The metal just feels better. Overall, better construction. Also the stitching, as you can see, this one's easy to tell because it has the that contrast stitching. This one does not. Well, no, it doesn't. It's the same color. But even the stitching, I can tell here that this is thinner thread, thinner material, just not as luxurious. So that's something to look for when you buy them. Now, I will tell you, not all bags in the outlets or online are made for outlet. They do take some of their discounted or discontinued items and pull them into the outlet. Coach calls it the Coach Reserve. I don't know what the other brands call it, but I'm sure they all do it occasionally. But a great example of that is my Tate. I sold my color block one that I received from the reserve section, and this is the one I bought full price when they first were released. So sometimes you can get bags that are boutique bags at the outlet, but the prices usually won't reflect outlet prices. So this bag typically is about $150, give or take. We all know it varies. Whereas this bag was, I believe, $500. It was either $4.95 or $5.95. So quite the difference. And the same with my color block Tate. I think I paid about $260 for the reserve version that I purchased, or the reserve bag I purchased, whereas this would be like $150. So the reserve items are still more expensive than the everyday outlet items. Now, I know some people get very, very into outlet versus non-outlet, and though there is a quality difference, there are style differences. I think it was called the Prairie Satchel, and I'll throw a picture of it up here. And then the Coach Elise, I'll throw it somewhere else as well. Same as these. You kind of had the retail version and then the outlet version. Now, some of the bags are a lot less luxurious, and that's a great example. I'll say this and this, I love them both. But some people really get into having an outlet bag versus a not. And here's the thing, majority of my collection is non-outlet. It's the retail boutiques. And the reason I do that is A, I like the styles better, and B, I have so many of these lovely, very expensive bags behind me. I find myself when I buy an outlet bag not reaching for it. Whereas if I were to buy a Coach bag that costs $600, though it's still nothing compared to $2,000, I'm more apt to reach for this because when I reach for this, I don't feel guilt. I'm not reaching for a $100 bag, looking at my $2,000 bag thinking, why am I not using this? So that's one of the reasons I think subconsciously I may lean more towards the retail bags. And honestly, I just like the styles better. But that doesn't mean that I won't buy an outlet bag. And I actually lied. I have another outlet bag and I forgot about it, my Ellis. You guys know this, just a little nylon bag. One of my absolute favorite bags, and it's an outlet bag, and I freaking love it. But you also have to take into account the price. Sometimes for the outlet version, if you're saving $200, $300, $400 and it's a similar style and you like it, the construction, the materials feel decent to you, then by all means buy that outlet bag. A great example is actually the messenger bags. When this came out, I really didn't know the difference, but now that I do, I've gone into the boutiques and I've felt the boutique versions of, this bag today, because they still make this, it's just slightly different. This leather is very soft. This bag is very luxurious. This bag does not scream outlet construction to me or outlet materials. So this is one where, compared to the boutique version, which would be several $100s more, I'll take this any day, because for me, the differences aren't substantial enough to offset the cost. The same goes with the Ellis. I don't think there is a retail version, but comparing to other brands like the Prada Re-Edition, I'll take this for under $200 any day. Actually, under $150 any day. Now, when it comes to this, I would lean more towards the Ruby because the construction of the Ruby is better. I like the overall design better, the subtle differences. And when comparing this to the leather version of this, there's no competition. The leather feels plastic. It's not my favorite. I absolutely love this glove-tanned leather, so I would choose this. Now, they have this in canvas. Comparing these two, if this was the canvas version, I'd probably pick this because it's a lot cheaper and it's a very similar item. So, I'll go ahead and show you the rest of my bags here. This is my Michael Kors. When I purchased this several years ago, the lady told me it was a retail bag that was discontinued. And I think she lied to me because I see these in the outlet all the time now, so I have no idea. But it's called the Manhattan Satchel, and I do not carry it. I think I've carried it once, but I just think it's so fun with the multicolored piping. It has a detachable strap inside. The cool like rainbow effect hardware. I don't know. I just think it's fun. I'm not a huge Michael Kors fan, but this is a bag that I like to keep for display purposes because I just think it's so pretty. And you know, maybe if I ever go to like a fun rock concert or something that's a little edgy, I'd probably pick this bad boy up. Maybe a Halloween party if I was dressing up as something a little fun. I love it. You guys have seen, I think, all of these by this point. But I have my Coach Rogue 25. Again, a great quality bag. There is no true outlet version of that bag. The Coach Cassie. This is very similar to the This is very similar to the Pochette Métis from Louis Vuitton. I do love this bag. I haven't carried it in a minute, so I've actually considered maybe parting ways with it. This is a discontinued retail bag. They do have several outlet versions that are very, very similar, but nothing quite like that. And again, for the materials that I've touched and seen with my own eyes, nothing really compares to the outlet or the leather from the retail store. Obviously, you guys already saw my Tate. We're not going to talk about her. We all know my Pillow Tabby. BT Dubs, super sad. The new versions of the black Pillow Tabby have silver hardware. And you know how I love black and silver. That's actually my blue Chanel, but the black one's right over here. And I wish I had that one, but I'm not buying it. I would sell this one and buy that one, but I'm not going to get my money out of this. So I would still have to come up probably with about $100 or $200 out of pocket for a bag that I've only carried about 2 or 3 times. So I'm just going to stick with my original gold version. But I haven't seen the pillow bags finally make its way to the outlets at Coach recently, which is like 4 years late. So not really sure how I feel about those. I felt the materials and the leather just doesn't feel as luxurious as this. So again, you may find a similar bag, the puffy style shoulder bag, and it may only be $165, whereas this is $500. But the materials are vastly different. And as long as you know what you're getting and you're okay with that, then who cares? Buy it. And then this is a retail bag. This is a more vintage bag. I believe it's from like 2013 or something, so not vintage, but this is my legacy bag that my mom found at a thrift store. She tried to sell it. It didn't sell, so she gave it to me to add to my lovely collection. So I know this video was kind of all over the place. I've just been really out of it, guys. So I'm sorry, but I just wanted to kind of spew my 2 cents about outlets. I wanted you guys to learn a little bit about them. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not going to get into all of my SLGs, but as you guys have seen, almost 90% of my SLGs, wallets, pouches are all Coach outlet because, again, for the price for those items, I have no problem buying a Coach pouch, a Coach wallet. I'd rather buy a Coach wallet for $90 or less than to buy a fake Louis Vuitton wallet, or honestly buy an $800 Louis Vuitton wallet like I did. I love my Sarah wallet, but overall, pouches, SLGs, those kinds of things go inside of my bag. I don't really see them that often. No one else sees them. So I love the outlets because they're so cheap. Like the corner zip pouches are usually less than $30. You can't get an outlet God, I keep saying that. You can't get a retail pouch for that much at Coach. You're gonna spend $80 to $100 minimum on a corner zip pouch when I can go to the outlet and get the same thing with slightly different materials for a lot less. So I think these things have their place, they have their time. I think it's a great way to kind of dabble into things to see if you enjoy certain products. I know there's been several bags or SLGs, for example, that I purchased the Coach equivalent from the outlet, and I've either then resulted in buying the actual bag, for example, the Rowan and the Ruby. That's a great example. And there's a lot of SLGs that I've done that, and I've either said, I don't really carry it a lot. Like I had the 6-ring key holder, and I didn't use it. So I didn't purchase the Louis Vuitton or Prada one because I didn't use the Coach one. And then a lot of my other SLGs, I like the Coach outlet version so much, I just keep them and they work great. So they have their place, they have their time, just like everything. Now, obviously, if money was no object, everything behind me, my creme de la creme, right? I wouldn't have Coach if I had all of the money in the world, probably. Actually, that's a lie. I love Coach. I would definitely have it. I don't know, guys. But I just wanted to kind of get on here and talk about it, and I kind of want to know your guys' opinions on the outlets. So I'm going to tag a few people in this video, and I want I'd love for you guys to make videos, or just comment below. And if you're watching it and you don't make videos, let me know below your thoughts between outlet and the boutiques for all of these brands. Like I said, Coach, Kate Spade, Tory Burch, Michael Kors, Prada, Versace, I believe, Gucci, YSL. I've seen so many of these fun outlets. I just want to know your take. So I've already heard Coach Jean in his video, which his channel will be tagged below. But Ed Braun, let us know. Winnie BLV, Autumn Beckman, Yoda Style. I really want to know your guys' takes on this because I think it's so interesting to kind of see other people's takes on these things. Because at the end of the day, don't we all just love something pretty regardless of where it comes from? Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next week here for something new. Who knows what it'll be. Thank you so much, and I will see you later. Bye guys.